Invincible.
The gummy worms in chat?
Nope.
Good. We have announcements.
Oh yes, announcements.
First thing that we have to do. Somebody's trying to be
down the street, walks right through the door. Hello there, Gabe.
Yeah, no, it sounds
Hi. And the slamming door. Okay, so here are announcements for today. October 12th, 2013.
The 12th of October.
Parent teacher conferences are today, 5:30 to 8:30 for
There
to go. They're in the teacher classrooms.
Yep.
There are also 5 gift cards for any student whose parents show up to the parent teacher conferences. Neat.
Cool.
So yeah, if you want a gift card, there's
I'm sure one of them's a gift card to Toys R Us.
The credit recovery.
Credit
recovery is canceled today because of the parent-teacher conferences. Obviously.
Well, yeah. There's still that FAFSA thing that's happening, which is still on the announcements, so I don't know why I'm mentioning it now, but... Forensics. There will be a short forensics meeting after class on Friday in Mrs. Mikeson's room, so if you're interested in forensics and didn't go to that meeting before...
Yeah, if you missed the one on Tuesday.
Just barge in there directly after school Friday.
Just kick down the door and be like, I want to learn! Okay. So, juniors and seniors.
I wouldn't argue with anybody that tries to tell you you can't learn, because debate is a forensic thing.
Nick.
Wow, that was loud.
The juniors and seniors. The Marine Recruiter will have a table at 7:30 a.m. on Friday, October 13th, so tomorrow.
The Marine Biologist Recruiter.
Marine Biology. The Dickinson State University will be visiting the counseling office 10 a.m. Monday, the 16th. Seniors, there's a financial aid and scholarship meeting for you and your parents today.
That's what I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that's what I meant. At 6:30 p.m. in the cafeteria.
Go talk about FAFSAs. The whole presentation on FAFSAs.
Whatever FAFSA.
It's a financial aid thing.
Financial aid.
It's financial aid something. I don't know what it stands for. Look up what FAFSA stands for. I always forget to look it up after
there's
this.
a presentation on the FAFSA, as well as information given regarding the scholarships and other info pertinent to the senior year. So, go! If you want to see all that neato burrito stuff.
Free application for federal student aid.
Free application for federal student aid. That's what it is. FAFSA.
So, yeah.
What's for lunch today?
Lunch is a deli sandwich with potato, fruit, veggie, milk.
Potato.
Awesome.
What type of potato?
Potato chip. Potato chip.
Are you sure?
Potato chips. Fruit.
It does say potato chips.
Potato.
Usually it's
chip,
just like potato,
fruit,
and you're like,
veg.
what type of potato will it be today?
A tasty one. Anyway, so, yeah.
Something.
Yesterday on the announcements, they accidentally put deli sandwich when it was actually pretzel sandwich. There is a paper coming in from out of nowhere.
Whoa, that's the weather.
The weather! Yes, it is time for us to read to you the weather. It is currently 47 degrees outside.
8 degrees
Celsius.
Centigrade.
Celsius. Same thing.
It's both, really.
A number in Kelvin. Anyway, it is. There's a 4% chance of rain.
It's pretty low.
It's the humidity is at 61%. The wind is coming out of the southeast at about 14 miles an hour.
The humidity % always surprises me for some reason.
It's like, oh wow, it's humid.
61%. Then you walk outside, and it's like it doesn't feel humid at all.
You walk outside, and it's like.
Do you ever have that when it's like 90% humidity and you walk outside and it feels like you're drowning on air?
You walk outside and you can wring out your shirt. Walk outside with a bucket, you'll have a full bucket. You can swim through that, dude.
I wish it got that humid. It doesn't. Actually, that would just mean we lived in a floodplain now that I think
Never go to Florida.
Florida sucks.
It's like,
I'm sorry, Florida.
Like, chilling out on the beach with your little drink with the umbrella, and you're like, oh look, it's a little cloud, and everyone's running away. You're like, what's going on? And then 5 minutes later, what is happening?
You go to Florida, and then you hear hurricanes coming. You try to take your kids out, and people just sit there and insult you the entire time. Because it's an insult for you to try and protect your children. Never do that. Never. You're not allowed.
And then there were those crazy people who were like, oh, hurricane, I'm just going to stay at home.
My house is on the side of the hill. It's practically on stilts. This is a great idea.
And then they get all upset and they call the police and they're like, oh no, my house is flooding. I'm stuck on the roof. I need help. It's like you were told to evacuate.
God. You had so long. So long. And they don't want to do it just because there's like a traffic issue. Who cares if there's traffic? Get out!
If it's bumper to bumper traffic and it's at a standstill, jump on their roofs and run away. Don't actually do that.
That would be bad.
Don't.
You would leave your car, it would make traffic so much worse for everyone else. And it would just make a whole issue.
Honking your horn immediately.
It would also be slower than actually going through the traffic, because eventually there will be a break in it, and you'll be able to just go, and you'll make much more progress than you would just running off.
Note yourself, if you're in a hurricane, ride a motorcycle to escape.
I mean, yeah.
Standstill traffic, you can just slip right between those cars. Yeah, later, suckers.
Oh, wish you guys-
Toddler on the back of a motorcycle.
And then you hit a wet spot and you're just like...
And that's how Timothy died.
Who's Timothy?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a person named Timothy that tried to escape a hurricane on a motorcycle and then slipped in a puddle of water
Oddly
and died.
specific. Okay.
I'm sure it's happened.
Anyway.
Stop. You just described my cousin perfectly right there.
Cool. Anyway.
Anyway, we have some other news.
Do we really know?
We do.
Anyway, we have funnies. Only we only have this many. So it's boring. Anyway,
So, U.S. Representative Greg Gianforte, a while back, assaulted a reporter. A lot of people liked it. They were like, hey, this guy that we're voting into office, he's pretty chill. He just beat the crap out of somebody for no reason, for doing their job. Obviously, he's a cool guy. Anyway, his mugshots were recently released.
he looks so happy in this. It's just
Look how happy he looks.
so happy.
So happy.
Happy.
Happy Gianforte.
Bye-bye.
He looks like he's having the best time.
It's the most
Like he didn't just...
time of the year.
He doesn't look like the type of guy that just tackled a Guardian reporter. It's so much.
In other news, Boy Scouts are now allowing trans boys to join.
Yeah, I think I didn't look at the article too much, but I think what it was saying was over the past 5 years, they've been slowly allowing more like transgender people and gay people, which is cool. It's very cool. And now they're doing a larger shift for more girls, I think is what it is. Although girls were allowed anyway, just in the higher ranks, because the Girl Scouts doesn't allow the same stuff that the Boy Scouts does. So I mean, just more girls are allowed. Apparently, a pretty large number can join now, but I don't know how many really are.
I know that they're trying to make it all nice and stuff, but I have had some bad experiences with the Girl Scouts, because we use the same tents. Like, we'll go camping on different days, but like we'll pack up the tents and then reuse them for both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Well,
Okay.
once the Girl Scouts, they went on a camping trip, and then the next week the Boy Scouts went on a camping trip.
Yep.
And it was a week long, so a week Girl Scouts used it, week Boy Scouts used it, and we got all the way from, this was when I still lived in Utah, so we went from West Valley all the way up to Bear Lake, which is like at the border between Utah and Idaho.
Yeah.
We were all the way there, and we had both tents and one bag of poles. The other bag was the spares, so there weren't enough to build the tent. So they didn't put it back in the right place. They put the spares in the bag that should be used for the regular poles instead of in the spares bag.
So you just had like the bits and pieces just in case.
We had to have like
what you needed.
We had to have like 10 of us in the same tent. It was we were crammed like sardines. It was not fun.
I never really did much of that stuff when I was in Boy
But
Scouts.
luckily, one of the other leaders, they brought over they were coming one of the later days, and so they just came a day early. So this was the second day of the camp, and they came up, brought the regular bag of poles, and we're all hunky dory. Woo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The first we ever went camping when I was in Boy Scouts was Mikoshka, which is right next to town.
Yeah.
Right next to town.
We're gonna go camping. Drive done. Wait.
We're gonna hike these trails you've hiked 1,000 times.
I can see my house from here.
I can't see my house from Mikoshka. I wish I could. That'd be
So
cool.
I would get away from home.
I didn't know we were driving 5 minutes to go camping. Whoa! I can walk home if I get bored.
God, I could have. I totally could have. Like where we were, I totally could have walked home. Just follow the road. It's very simple.
Like it probably would take about an hour if we're walking, but like
Yeah.
10-minute drive equals about an hour of walking.
Yeah.
Maybe 45 minutes.
Depending on the terrain as well, but gummy worms. Gummy worms. Well, we got G and 4 days mugshot. Did that. We have more. Oh my god. It's Eminem.
What? Eminem is now anti-Trump.
Eminem did a rap about Trump, apparently. I want to hear it now. We can't play it on here.
Yeah, no,
obviously.
copyright.
No way we could, but I want to hear it after the stream. And I suggest that you look it up, the anti-Trump tirade by Eminem. I want to see what it is. It's probably going to be pretty interesting. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get all political and stuff. You don't have to hate someone because they have a differing opinion from you.
Yeah, you don't.
And there's a lot of people who think Trump's a racist, Trump's against gays, against trans, but he's not. They think, he's not as far left as these people, so he must be alt-right, but he's fairly center-right.
See, the problem I have with Trump more than anything is his uncanny ability to somehow take the focus away from the things that are like legitimately important, no matter the situation. We had like the whole thing with the flag in the football games, right? They're doing that whole thing for police brutality. They're protesting police brutality, and it's an interesting way to do it. They're kneeling during national anthem, and not many people agree with that, but there's, for instance, a majority of even military veterans would stand by that idea. They don't want that. They don't want people needlessly being violent. That's dumb. And I don't know, just the idea that Trump would take it and be all like, this is a direct attack on the American flag in and of itself, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And somehow the entire thing not only becomes about that, but that overshadows much more important issues that are going on.
It's because news, they don't really want to talk about what's like actually going on. They want to talk about the cool stuff, like the Kardashians. They're so important.
Yeah,
and
we do need better news outlets.
Like ISIS still exists.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
The terrorism going on from the immigrants that are in Europe.
And then there's like Trump, directly insulting people.
Yeah.
Other politicians that are supposed to be working with him. And there was that one guy that he wouldn't add to his administration because he was too short. Right?
You're too short. You can't be in my administration.
He directly insults the guy's height on Twitter, and then one of the people from his administration goes in front of the press and says, "You guys need to get a sense of humor. Obviously, it was a joke," which is such a dumb way to respond to it, and he should have apologized, is what it should have been. But instead, they have somebody else going out there and saying, "Guys, it was a joke. It was just a joke." I don't like it all that much.
He seems like he has no filter, which it's true a lot of the time, but not. Also, a lot of other people don't have a filter.
Yeah. I don't know, it seems weird, and it's just a new thing to have somebody come into office and be this just ridiculous about saying this sort of stuff and doing this sort of stuff. It's something entirely new, and while I'm sure even if Trump hadn't won this election, there would be somebody doing the same thing within the next couple of terms. Like, definitely. Somebody would be this open and this out on the internet because that's just the age we live in now. But it's something new to face, and it's something that I think we as a people need to kind of figure out what the exact guidelines for should be, because...
How much you want to bet stuff like this happened a lot with other presidents? It's just, we're more in the internet age. That stuff gets passed on easier.
That's also true. For instance, John Adams, I believe it was not the nicest guy. He had a bunch of laws that he released that were like, well, anti-immigration for one, and then there were a few he did where it's like, if you talk bad about me, there will be consequences, and he did a lot of things that weren't really acceptable, and then he would just straight out trash other people, other politicians. And that was a big deal then, but it's not something you hear about now. And I think that's as much like those things happening in the past and that being a part of the past is as much a thing, as much reason that we don't talk about it as it is us coming into the internet age. I think it was John Adams. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. One of my favorites, Calvin Coolidge. He was like complete opposite. He was as quiet as you can be, and there was this person who they were about to meet Calvin Coolidge, and one of their friends said they made a bet, like, oh, I bet you can't get more than 3 words out of him. And so this person goes up, and they're like, oh yeah, my friend had this bet and stuff. And he turns to the person and says, you lost.
And it doesn't say anything more.
That's it. That's all he said. You lost.
Man.
One more word.
Oh, it's amazing. That's so great. And there's things like the female presidency is a thing.
Yeah.
Getting a female, I think that's an important milestone to hit. I don't think we should like vote somebody into office strictly so we have a female president. I think we should get a female president when a female is the best option.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people like misjudge that situation. They say, well, we can't have a female president because this and this and this, and it takes away from the idea of just allowing the candidate to be the best candidate that they could be and then taking them because of that. And I remember hearing about in the 1800s there was actually a female candidate for the presidency. And what they did is they ran a smear campaign, and they said she was literally the devil. Like, actually, they said she was the devil. Which is messed up. And, I mean, it's not like we're literally saying anybody's the devil anymore. I mean, people are saying that Tom Cruise is the Zodiac killer, but...
Ted Cruz, he gonna get ya. He gonna get ya.
And then there's that whole thing with Ted Cruz and Twitter and things that I don't think are appropriate to talk about in the school live stream. But, I don't know.
You can accidentally click things and stuff like that.
And it's entirely possible that there was somebody within his like actual office instead of him.
Pulling a prank.
Yeah.
Could have been a prank.
It's entirely possible. It could have been him, but...
Could have been someone getting swifty and then they clicked the wrong button. Anyway, let's move away from... Move away
from politics.
Catastrophic event, deadly blazes explode.
Oh, fun.
Fueled by the return of strong winds, the wildfires tearing through California, wine country,
God, we still have so many wildfires.
exploded in size and number Wednesday as authorities ordered new evacuations and the death toll climbed to 21.
See, that's another thing we haven't been talking about too much. Just the fact that the world is literally coming to an end.
The world is starting to kill us all.
So there's a bunch of wildfires and a bunch of climate-based things happening. I wonder.
Fires are increasing. Hurricanes are growing massively.
Climate change is a myth, Garrett. Obviously.
Oh, it's a myth.
There's no proof that any of this is happening.
Like decades ago, a hurricane would be this size, and now Hurricane Irma and stuff, and it's like this big. Like, I wonder if there's a correlation.
And it's not at all like it's just this is one big one. This is an exception to the rule. It's like this is one big one. This is another big one. This is another big one.
They're all just growing. It's like because the ocean temperatures are rising.
Yeah.
Hurricanes are like popping a pimple. It's getting rid of all of that energy.
Yeah, it is.
Just a release of
So
energy.
not only are they getting bigger, they're actually happening a little bit more frequently as well.
Like 3 catastrophic hurricanes. Boom, boom, boom.
Wildfires all over the place.
Ah, yes. Remember
The
when?
world is on fire right now.
Remember a few weeks ago when you had to walk outside going home from school, and then it's just like.
The smog is just filling your lungs.
You can't see like what's in front of you.
Oh god, and we're not even really all that close to things right now.
Yeah, good thing.
That's the
Good
worst
thing we
part.
got that big storm recently that
Yeah, just cleared
cleared
things up.
the air. That was amazing.
Great.
Weather's trying to kill us.
God. More on the scouts, but I don't think we need to read anything more on them.
Does your dog or cat suffer from digestive problems, itchy skin, allergies? Allergies? What's an allergy? I have no idea. Try raw goat milk. It's
Raw goat milk.
It's Mother Nature's natural probiotic and antihistamine.
So why wouldn't you give your pet milk from its species? That's the question.
I don't know. Like give a puppy milk? I don't know.
That would make sense. You know.
This is one of those little ads at the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
Like,
There's another one here. It's 80% off a $100 certificate for a permanent cosmetic clinic.
So you're paying $20 for $100. That seems like a screaming deal.
Yep. And you're paying.
Wait,
you're paying for them to
Well,
inject
yeah,
things
that's
into your
right.
face. Yes.
I think-
yes,
yeah.
that's correct. You're paying $20 for a $100 certificate.
Yeah.
To get them to put a bunch of stuff in your face so you can look younger. Finally, Jessica.
It's like, okay,
Fine.
so let's like take this needle and go.
Yeah, and then your face will never be the same unless you keep just injecting things into it.
And then if you stop injecting the stuff, it just like melts.
Your entire face melts. You're better off not starting.
So
honestly.
there was this 9-year-old. And he tried this. He went into his mother's medicine cabinet and grabbed that cream that's supposed to make you look 10 years younger. Kid just vanished.
Oh no. The 13th annual Harvest Fest is happening 2 days from now, October 14th, in Billings.
At work.
And there's going to be a pumpkin pie baking contest.
Pumpkin.
I'll also be at work, but, you know, pumpkin pie baking.
Woo! Jobs.
Yep.
Yeah, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is.
Go get some pumpkin pie or enter the contest.
It literally starts an hour before or an hour after I go to work and ends an hour before I
See,
get to work.
that's when I start work, and I'll probably be off by 4 p.m., but...
You little maid. God. You're a French maid.
I am...
He's a housekeeper at the
Days in.
Days Inn. Last name French. French maid.
French boy over here, man.
Okay.
Conrad Burns Road sign honors former senator.
The late former U.S. Senator Conrad Burns, a Republican from Billings, would have loved the hoopla. Wednesday's unveiling at what? Ooh.
Fun. Okay, continue that one, and then we'll go to this.
Okay, unveiling at Metro Park of a road sign in his honor. Not much of the sign itself. Friends and family said, I think he would have loved coming to a party like this. He didn't want anything named after him, said his wife, Phyllis Burns, at a ceremony honoring her husband's contributions to Montana and the local community.
Okay.
That seems fun. Anyway, former Boys and Girls Club employee charged with indecent exposure.
Yeah, so he's 22 years old. His name is Matthew Michael Huggard, and he exposed himself to a teen member of the club. He was brought to court on Tuesday and was charged with felony count of indecent exposure. He maintained an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old, exposed himself, and asked inappropriate questions of the child. He used to drive the child home one night, but drove away from the child's home, saying he would not take the child home, causing the child to be afraid. Eventually, he did take it home. Wow.
Take it home.
Yeah, that's such a strange thing to do, isn't it? Like, just take it. Like, I'm not going to take you home. I'm not going to. Kid gets afraid. Okay, I'll take you home.
Note to self: don't be a pedo.
Yes, that's a good note. Huggard bought the child a cell phone cover and other gifts. Oh. I mean, well, no, that's not.
That's always what you do. You buy a.
Yeah, you buy 13-year-old things. That's something normal.
Man catches fire while gassing up car. Oof.
Men deny heroin conspiracy charges.
A male found burned Wednesday in a Billings West End neighborhood apparently caught fire while filling a car with gasoline, according to the Billings Fire Department. Firefighters were dispatched to Concord Drive and Birchwood Drive at about 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. Wednesday, said Jeff McCullough. I don't know how to pronounce that. MC and then big C-U-L-L.
So.
O-U-G-H.
What?
Deputy Fire Marshal.
Where?
McCullough.
McCullough?
That is weird.
Like Fox McCloud. Just put that in deep.
It was still unknown Wednesday night how the fire started. The male was found flown to Denver to be treated for his injuries. McCullough said neither the male's age nor the extent of his injuries have been released. Huh.
God, that sounds like the worst.
I'm gonna fill up my car with gas.
So, a man named Arthur Ray Johnson, 57 years old, was charged with kidnapping, attempted rape.
Reading. We don't want to end this. Silly computer guy.
Okay, so he attempted to rape, kidnapped, and strangled a family member or partner.
Oof. Don't do that.
That's, he is being GPS monitored now. That's good. According to charges, Johnson kept a woman against her will in his home in the Heights early Sunday morning and strangled her and attempted to rape her.
Don't do that. Don't do that at all.
Yeah, never do that. Oh, look, another man charged with felony sex crime. All over the place today, guys.
A Billings man has been charged with felony sex assault
He's
against
in Billings.
Joshua Wayne Steiner, 39, had sex with a child. Charges state. He was booked into the Yellowstone County Detention Facility on Saturday. Bond has not yet been set.
Okay.
Steiner apparently appeared in Yellowstone County Justice Court on Tuesday, and Judge David A. Carter set a bond at $200,000.
Does it say anything else on like what he actually did or no?
Naughty stuff.
He had sex with a child. That's all it says.
Oof. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Guys, for the last time, don't have sex with children. Hopefully that's the last time we have to say that today. Obituaries?
Oh, Namram died the other day.
Oh, okay.
I was just glancing past and I saw that. I'm like,
Can we not,
Piano player.
we probably shouldn't read obituaries on the live stream.
dead person.
It's sad.
Dead person.
Those people are dead. Yep.
Newspaper.
I think,
Okay.
I don't know if we have any more news to go over, guys. Oh my god, businesses ask High Court to take gay rights case. Okay. Some of America's most well-known companies are urging the Supreme Court to rule that a federal employment discrimination law prohibits discrimination based on person's sexual orientation.
Well, no duh.
Yeah, something that we should have, and not all places do, and it's dumb.
It's like, oh, it's a dude who likes dudes. So what?
Yeah,
Well, that doesn't work.
but it is allowed actually in a lot of places, and some people even encourage it, which is wrong and bad, and don't do that.
What?
I'm not even sure if anybody over the mic would have heard what you said, but I hope they did. Okay. They want the court to take a case out of Georgia in which a gay woman who worked as a hospital security officer says she was harassed and punished for dressing in a male uniform and wearing her hair short, which doesn't even necessarily like mean anything. Just wearing clothes. Okay. I've worn dresses. The question in her case is whether a federal law barring workplace discrimination because of sex covers discrimination against someone because of their sexual orientation. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission under President Barack Obama took the view that it does, but President Donald Trump's administration has argued that Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 bars discrimination based on gender, but doesn't cover sexual orientation. It doesn't, and it should, and we need to make that a thing.
Discrimination is bad. Don't do it.
Don't discriminate! Whoa! How'd you figure that one out, Garrett?
Also, don't use discrimination to replace discrimination.
Oh my god, that's the worst. Again, that's what we were talking about earlier, about people just immediately assuming things about people because they don't agree with them.
If you don't want to discriminate, don't discriminate. Don't discriminate against the other person.
Yeah, it's like somebody coming up and being like, this person's against gay rights. That obviously means they're a redneck from the South. Or, on the other side, this person's all for them gay rights, so they must be a terrorist.
No, what I'm saying is,
that is something people do, and I don't like it, but please.
Like, there are people who think, girls aren't as represented in colleges, which is a complete lie. They're now being more represented than boys. But people are trying to say, we need to discriminate against boys and only girls, which is like...
Which is dumb. It should be an equal opportunity thing based off of merit. That's what it should be.
People just don't understand.
There are some briefly things. We have nuclear weapons, some things with NAFTA, some things with Homeland Security, and Prince tapes.
Prince!
This is obviously the most important out of all of these.
And there goes the bell. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, we have to go. This went much longer than it should have. This guy's been pointing at us and waving in the air like we should have